Gamers, what's the funniest way a friend has rage quit? Hadn't touched grass in 3 days. My friends and I had been grinding the same game non-stop, living off energy drinks and whatever snacks didn't require silverware. We were locked in. Then came Friday lunch, and Trevor sat down at our table like he'd been personally invited to join an esports team. Trevor was that guy, the one who thought owning a Nintendo Switch made him a certified gamer, when in reality his entire skill set peaked at driving Yoshi off a cliff in Mario Kart. He looked at us with this desperate, wide-eyed expression and said, "Yo, let me run with you guys after school. I'm actually insane at this game." My friend looked at him and said, "Trevor, you play on a Switch." He nodded like that somehow made it better. "Exactly. Portable power, bro." We told him no, 5 times, but Trevor had this superpower where he just refused to accept rejection. So eventually we caved and said fine, come over. Later that day, we were all set up in my basement. Me and my 2 friends had our PCs humming, RGB lights flashing like a rave, headsets on, ready to dominate. And then there was Trevor, sitting cross-legged on the floor with his little Switch, squinting at the screen like he was trying to decode ancient hieroglyphics. It took him 15 full minutes just to connect to the lobby. 15. By the time he finally joined, we were already questioning our life choices. The match started, and within 30 seconds, Trevor was dead. He didn't make it out of spawn, literally ran directly into enemy fire like he thought he was immune to bullets. My friend burst out laughing and Trevor snapped, "That was a warm-up round. Watch this. Next game, same thing. Died in under a minute. Game after that, he went 0 and 12. 0 kills. 12 deaths. We watched him sprint around the map like a confused NPC who forgot his script, running into walls, shooting at his own teammates, crouching in random corners for no reason. We couldn't hold it in anymore. We started laughing, and that's when Trevor lost his entire mind. He stood up, face bright red, veins popping out of his neck, and screamed, "This game is trash." Then he threw his Switch at my wall. Not lightly. Full force baseball pitch directly into drywall. The screen shattered on impact. The controller popped off and skidded across the floor like a hockey puck. We all just sat there in stunned silence, staring at the wreckage of his $300 tantrum. And then Trevor started crying. Not a single tear. Full-on sobbing, gasping for air, hands on his knees like he just ran a marathon. Before any of us could even react, he grabbed the broken pieces of his Switch, cradled them like a dying pet, and sprinted out of my house without saying a word. The next Monday at school, Trevor walked up to us and said we owed him $300 because we broke his Switch. We just stared at him. My friend pulled out his phone, opened the basement camera footage, and hit play. There was Trevor, in full 1080p, launching his Switch like a grenade. We showed it to the principal. Trevor got detention for lying, and as far as I know, his parents still haven't bought him a new one. Now he just watches us play from across the cafeteria like a bitter ex.